Unwritten rules, the Carton Rule. Welcome to Australian Mining for New Starters. And in today's video, I just want to have a quick chat about the Carton Rule that's used on all the Hardrock Underground and most of the open pit mines around the country. And this is one of the rules that people find confusing, and it's been in ever since I first started the industry, and it's been in it for a long time. The rules are pretty hard and fast. The main one is that if you make a stuff up, then you owe a carton. And normally it's, back in when I first started, it was just a carton of beer on the bar, but now normally it's $50 over the bar and everybody just gets whatever drink they want out of the $50. Now, what it's for is that if you make a mistake, and normally there will be somebody, a senior member of crew, that decides whether your mistake is worthy of a carton or not. In an underground situation, which is what I'll be talking about today because that's where all my experience is from, it's normally a senior member of crew holds court on the bus ride home from work to the camp, and they decide whether you've written that you owe a carton or not. FYI, it's pretty much always a hanging judge. So I always find that it's best if you get decided that you owe a carton is to put the carton on, because the other thing that a lot of people don't realise is the rule is that if you put the carton on, the issue's supposed to be dead, and that's what gets you out of it. So if you do make a mistake, one of the best things you can do is actually put your carton on as soon as possible, because it just shows everybody on the crew that you acknowledge that you made the mistake, that you stuffed up, and that you're making, you're atoning for it. And normally what happens is that everybody comes up and has a drink, and it becomes an impromptu safety meeting where people, share experiences, and no matter what you did, I can guarantee you in the group there's somebody that's done something much worse. And so it's good from that respect. And so I encourage people to engage in that whichever mine they are in around the country. But the other thing that it requires as well is if you're a new starter, you have to put a starter's carton on when you start on your new crew. I always tell people when you first hit the mine site, don't put it on the first night that you're there, because if you put it on that crew, that's probably not the crew that you're going to be staying on, and then you'll get sent to another crew, and then I've seen a lot of people not put that carton on that second crew and be run out of that crew within 4 or 5 weeks because they didn't put a starter's carton on. And when you're driving them out to the airport, they all say the same thing. The first crew I was on was really good, but that second crew, they're a bunch of bastards. Or they say a lot worse than that, to be honest with you. But it's all down to the fact that they never put a carton on when they started on their permanent crew. So I tell people, when you jump on the bus for the first time, there's going to be some dickhead that yells out carton, and the reason that they're a dickhead is because that'll be the person that never pays their own cartons when they're due. And so to that, you can turn around and say, I will pay my starter's carton when I find out what permanent crew I'm going on and when I get my first paycheck, which is perfectly acceptable. The other reason that you need to put a carton on is if you have a kid, or it's your birthday, or you get a promotion, or any other reason, positive thing that happens. Normally, that if you win a safety prize that's worth over $100, they want you to put a carton on. And I think everybody sees where I'm going with this. The rules are fairly, flexible, and you can pretty much stitch somebody up for a carton if you want. That's why a lot of people, they don't like sharing their birthday, or they'll share their birthday once it's over and done with, because if it is your birthday, you owe a carton. If you get promoted, you owe a carton. If you snatch it, so if you quit your job to go to a better job, you owe a carton. And you can see where I'm going with this. So just be aware that it's there, but the main reason it's there is for the stuff ups. And the good thing about the stuff ups is that if you put your carton on straight away, it's over and done with, and you're supposed to move on. And if somebody tries to bring your fuck up, then you get to turn around and say to them, no, let's talk about yours. I put my carton on, you haven't put your carton on yet, let's talk about yours. It's the way it works. It's a good thing to engage in. And if you stuff up really bad, it's not beyond the realms of imagination to put a couple of cartons on as well. I've done that, had to do that a couple of times over my mining career when I've made a huge stuff up, and that always goes down well, especially if you interfere with two crews. So if you not only cost your own crew time and money, but you cost the next crew time and money, sometimes it can be worth putting it on a carton for both crews just to say I'm sorry. But anyway, that's how it works. If you want to get into the Hardrock Underground side of things, there's lots of jobs around. You just have to type underground into Seek, and you can use the sponsor's DIY training package. It's $495. It's got full instructions on how to redo your resume in the back of the Australian Mining Seminar, interview prep questions, and you can apply directly to one of the big mid-tier miners in Australia. They look for people from the training, because if they can get somebody that's studied, that knows how their mine works, then they can transition them into a productive member of crew quite quickly. And that's what everybody's after. They're after somebody that they can throw in the deep end and transition into being a productive member of crew as quickly as possible, as safely as possible. So I hope you found that information helpful, and that's the unwritten rules about the cartons. Just remember the birthday carton. A lot of people don't like that, but that's a real thing, and if it's your birthday, you owe a carton. But if you could share this information around and like and subscribe to the channel, that would be wonderful. Thanks.